Okay, in this lecture we're going to be talking about the SUMIF and SUMIFS functions. We've already learned about the SUM function, and the SUMIF and SUMIFS functions are just a little bit different in that a SUMIF function adds a range of cells if one or more conditions are met in another selected range of cells. And the SUMIFS function does the same thing as the SUMIF function with multiple conditions and multiple ranges of cells. So let's take a look at an example using our sales rep spreadsheet. And you can see that I've added a couple of more items to the spreadsheet now. I've added column E here, which is the region, and it's basically just broken into two regions, East and West. So each sales rep is designated as being the East or West region. And then I've added this new section down here, which calculates total monthly pay by region, East or West, and the total monthly pay if the monthly target is hit. And I just noticed that my text is a little cramped here, so I'm just going to double click on this column and open that up. But our SUMIF function is going to do a calculation here, and it's going to sort all of our people from the East region and do a total of their monthly pay. And then it's going to sort all of our people by the West region and calculate the sum of their monthly pay. So let's start with the East region, and of course we put in our equal sign and we go to our formulas tab, and we're looking at math and trigonometry. Scroll all the way down to the SUMIF, click it, and it brings up our function arguments here. And first it's going to ask us for our range, which of course our range are the cells that we want to evaluate based on the East region, so we're going to highlight these. Then we're also going to highlight these numbers and press F4 to create an absolute cell reference here so that when we copy this down, it's not going to shift down and have the wrong cell range. Then we go to our criteria, which is East, because we're searching just for the East region. And then of course our sum range is the numbers that we want to add up. So that's our total monthly pay. And then we want to do the same thing with this, highlight it, press F4, to make it an absolute cell reference. So the formula copies down correctly. Then we'll click OK, and it'll enter in our number. Then we'll copy our formula down, and we'll double check our West region. And we have 1, 2, 3 West regions, $2,000, $2,600, and $3,000 for a total of $7,600. So perfect. So all we really did was do a sum of the numbers in this range, but with the if criteria, if it is East or if it is West. And that's what the SUMIF formula does. So now let's go to this next column and figure out our total monthly pay if they hit their monthly target. And we'll use the SUMIFS formula, which does the same thing as the SUMIF formula, adding a range of cells if one or more conditions are met. But we can also use multiple conditions and multiple ranges of cell for SUMIFs. So we'll start with our equal sign. And let's go to our drop down and see if it's in here. There it is. Click that. Brings up our function arguments. And you'll notice the SUMIFs is in a little bit different order. First it asks for our sum range. And our sum range is our total monthly pay. And then it's going to start giving us a number of different criteria to work with. So our first criteria, of course, is the range of cells that we want to evaluate, and that's our region. Oh, and I almost forgot, we need to highlight these and press F4 again to make them an absolute cell reference, so we can copy our formula down later and have it refer to the same cell still. And our criteria, again, is East. And then our criteria range number 2 is our monthly target, whether it's been hit. So we'll highlight that and press F4. And then our criteria for that is yes. Then we'll click OK. Copy our formula down. And then we can double check this second one as well. So here we're looking for the West region. We have 3 reps in the West region. And we have 2 who have met their monthly target. $2,600 and $3,000 for a total of $5,600. So we also see that this SUMIFS formula is correct. So to summarize what we've done here again, we used the SUMIF formula to determine the sum of this column based on one criteria, whether they're in the east region or the west region. And so this row calculated the east region, and this row calculated the west region's total monthly pay. Then we got a little more complicated with a SUMIFS formula, where we first said we're going to take the people in this top row from the east region as our first criteria. Then we're only going to take the people who have hit their monthly target as our second criteria, and we're going to bring back their total monthly pay of $2,800 for this one person. Then, of course, that was for the east region. We calculated the same thing for the west region. So it takes all three of our west region people as our first criteria, looks for yeses as our second criteria, and we see that we have two of them here, $2,600 and $3,000. So it does a sum of those from that range and comes back with our total of $5,600. So that's how you use the SUMIF formula to add a range of cells if one or more conditions are met in another selected range of cells. And for the SUMIFS, to do that same thing with multiple conditions and multiple ranges of cells.